Okay, so we got all the windows in. Alright, now I just want to add a couple of details onto the top of this. What I did here is we're going to use this as a vent on the top. Cut the end off of a pen, and then I just kind of sanded the bottom down smooth, and I did 2 coats of primer on this, and we are going to now airbrush it gray. I took painter's tape, flipped it over so both sides are sticky, so when I use the airbrush it's not going to blow away. And for this we're going to use acrylic craft paint gray. And what I've been doing is when I'm getting these, the first time I'm using them, I'm putting a little bit of rubbing alcohol in the paint to just thin it out a little. So this, we're just going to need a very little bit of it. We'll give it a couple of coats. We'll let that dry and give it a second coat. Okay, and I put a little more, actually just put a little dark gray in here. Alright, so now that we got it painted the gray, I'm going to put it on the stick here, and this is just a little black charcoal chalk or pastel, and I just want to darken up the bottom of this, kind of give it a little bit of weathering, I guess, make it darker. Especially around the bottom, I want the bottom to be pretty dark. And I'll also get rid of any shine that'll be on it. Alright, and then the next thing we're going to do is glue it down onto the structure. We don't want it set straight in the middle. Thinking if we put it over here towards this chimney, we should be in good shape. We put it right there. Actually, it kind of looks like a garbage can up there, but that's alright. Alright, we'll let that dry, and then we're going to apply some weathering to the building. We're going to put a decal on the side, and I'll probably put it on this side, and we're going to finish up the roof, and we should be set. Alright, so we have the roof vent in place. Next thing we want to do is I want to put a decal right over here on the front. You could buy a decal sheet. This one I printed on regular computer paper. I don't know how well you could see it. And then what I did was I took very fine grit sandpaper and kind of rubbed it off on there so it gets nice and thin, gets a couple of holes in it, and this way it will go onto the side of the building a lot better, look a little bit more realistic. Alright, so what we're going to use for this is just regular white glue. And I always use these Gatorade or Powerade tops when I'm painting. I just find they're really convenient, so I'll just put a little regular white glue in there. Now I'm going to put the decal on the first floor a little bit ways up. And again, I'm going to use an old brush for this. Give it a generous amount of paint. And this brush might be a little too old, it's really not working out that well. Here we go. Okay, just a little bit more on the bottom here. And you could use, again, you could use the white Elmer's glue. You could use rubber cement works. And then what I'll do here is just go over it again with a nice generous amount of the Elmer's glue. And the thinner that you get it, the better it's going to look. You're going to be able to see the bricks coming through. See some holes in there. And it's going to look like it was painted on. Alright, so we'll let that dry. We'll come back. I'll probably give it one more coat. And then we'll weather the building, just add a couple little details on weathering, weather the sign, and we're going to also put ballasting on the roof. Not crazy about the way the roof came out on this, so we're going to redo that, and then I think we would be set with that. So when this coat dries, I'll come back and we'll give it a second coat. Alright, we'll give it a second coat. Actually need a brush. This one's shot. Alright, I think 2 coats is going to be fine for this. We'll let it dry and then we'll begin the weathering. Okay, so you can see that we got our decal on. You see where the wall breaks through. We got I think I put 2 or 3 coats of white Elmer's glue to hold that on.